Its talons exert more pressure than a professional boxer's punch, and it uses them to crush the skulls of monkeys, sloths, and deer without slowing down. This aerial predator doesn't avoid conflict. It hunts it, and it's not even the most dangerous bird on this list. 15 birds that make even the toughest animals on Earth think twice. From a seagull that dive bombs humans without warning to a flightless giant that disembowels anything that gets too close. Get ready, because number 1 will make you look at the sky very differently from now on. Position 15. European herring gull, the seaside scavenger that launches coordinated attacks on humans without a single moment of hesitation. Most people see seagulls as harmless beach birds stealing French fries. The European herring gull would like to correct that impression, preferably by dive bombing the back of your head at full speed. Found across coastal regions of Europe, North America, and parts of Asia, this gull stands around 25 inches tall, weighs between 2.5 and 3.5 pounds, and carries a wingspan of nearly 5 feet. It is highly intelligent, completely fearless around humans, and aggressively territorial around nesting sites. And here's where it gets genuinely wild. Research has confirmed that herring gulls recognize individual human faces and will specifically target people who have previously disturbed their nests, ignoring everyone else in a crowd to attack the one specific individual they've identified as a threat. They hold grudges against people. In 2019, a woman in Cornwall, England required hospital treatment after a coordinated attack by 3 herring gulls defending a rooftop nest, the bird striking her head repeatedly until she fell. Can you imagine a seagull recognizing your face and waiting for you specifically? Have you ever been chased by one of these at a beach? Comment below if a seagull has ever completely ruined your day. Position 14. Great Northern Loon, the Arctic diver with a wail so haunting it has been used in horror films for over 50 years. That eerie, echoing wail drifting across a dark forest lake in every wilderness horror film you've ever watched? That's not a sound designer's creation. That's a real bird. And the animal producing it is far more extraordinary than most people realize. Found across northern Canada, Alaska, Greenland, and Iceland, the Great Northern Loon stands around 30 inches tall, weighs between 6 and 12 pounds, and carries one of the most striking breeding plumages of any North American waterbird: bold black and white checker back, jet black head, and a distinctive black and white striped collar. Its diving capability is genuinely insane. The loon can dive to depths of over 200 feet, holding its breath for up to 5 minutes while chasing fish at speeds no standard waterbird comes close to matching. Its bones are denser than most birds, specifically adapted to reduce buoyancy underwater, making it one of the most efficient aquatic hunters alive. What most people don't know is that loons are essentially helpless on land. Their legs are positioned so far back on their body for diving efficiency that walking is nearly impossible. They land only on water. In 2020, a Great Northern Loon call was used without modification in the soundtrack of a major Netflix horror series, the sound designer describing it as the most naturally terrifying animal vocalization on Earth. Have you ever heard that wail echoing across a dark lake at night? Would you have guessed something this beautiful could produce a sound this haunting? Tag someone who needs to hear this call at 2 in the morning. Position 13. Barred owl, the silent forest predator that hunts in complete darkness and is now pushing another owl species toward extinction. The barred owl doesn't need light to hunt. It doesn't need sound to locate prey. Its asymmetrically positioned ears create a 3-dimensional sound map of the forest floor so precise it can pinpoint a mouse moving under 6 inches of snow in total darkness and strike with accuracy that exceeds 90% in documented laboratory conditions. Found across eastern North America and now rapidly expanding westward, the barred owl stands around 21 inches tall, weighs between 1 and 2.5 pounds, and carries richly patterned brown and white plumage with those distinctive dark brown eyes, one of the few owls with brown rather than yellow eyes. But here's the most jaw-dropping part. The barred owl's westward expansion has brought it into direct competition with the endangered spotted owl, and the barred owl is winning comprehensively. More aggressive, more adaptable, and willing to eat a broader range of prey, it is directly displacing spotted owls across their entire remaining range. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has begun controversial lethal removal programs specifically targeting barred owls to protect spotted owl populations. In 2023, a study confirmed that barred owls had reduced spotted owl populations by over 75% in some monitored territories within just 15 years. Isn't it wild that one owl species is pushing another toward extinction simply by being better at surviving? Can you imagine being hunted by something that can hear you breathing under 6 inches of snow? Share this with someone who thinks owls are just cute. Position 12. Snowy owl. The Arctic ghost that hunts day and night and has been documented killing animals 3 times its own size. In 2013, a snowy owl appeared in New York City's Central Park, the first confirmed sighting in over a century. Thousands of people came to photograph it. Wildlife officials scrambled to monitor it. The internet went completely insane, and the owl, completely unbothered, sitting on a rock, looking regal. Found across Arctic tundra regions of North America, Europe, and Asia, the snowy owl is one of the largest owls on Earth, standing up to 27 inches tall, weighing between 3.5 and 6.5 pounds, and carrying a wingspan reaching nearly 5.5 feet. Unlike most owls, it hunts equally effectively by day and night, a critical adaptation for Arctic environments where summer brings 24 hours of daylight. It primarily hunts lemmings, consuming up to 1,600 per year, but has been documented killing rabbits, ducks, and geese significantly larger than itself. Its talons exert over 130 pounds of pressure per square inch, enough to punch clean through a heavy leather glove. God gave this one the color of Arctic snow, the strength of a much larger predator, and the composure to sit in Central Park while thousands of humans photograph it without blinking once. Can you imagine something this powerful appearing in the middle of New York City? Would you have a nerve to walk past it? Drop a like if the snowy owl is the most commanding bird on this list so far. Position 11. Magpie. The most intelligent bird on Earth that recognizes faces, holds funerals, and passes intelligence tests designed for primates. In 2008, researchers at Goethe University in Germany placed a mirror in front of a European magpie. The bird looked at its reflection, then used its beak to remove a colored that had been placed on its own chest while it was sedated. It understood it was looking at itself. The magpie became the first non-mammal ever to pass the mirror's self-recognition test, a test that most animals, including most primates, fail completely. Found across Europe, Asia, and North America, the magpie stands around 18 inches tall, weighs between 5 and 7 ounces, and carries that distinctive black and white plumage with iridescent blue-green wing and tail feathers. It uses tools. It caches food in hundreds of separate locations and remembers each one. It mimics other birds, other animals, and human speech. And here's the fact that breaks everyone's brain. Magpies hold funeral-like gatherings around dead members of their species, standing silently, touching the body with their bills, and calling softly before dispersing. Researchers who documented this behavior in 2012 described it as the most human-like grief response ever observed in a bird. Can you imagine a bird intelligent enough to recognize itself in a mirror and mourn its dead? Have you ever noticed a magpie watching you specifically? Comment if the magpie just became the most unsettling bird on this entire list. Position 10. Pitohui, the feathered assassin of Papua New Guinea whose poison can kill a mouse in under 4 minutes. Most dangerous animals warn you with color, sound, or size. The Pitohui warns you with every single feather on its body, and most people don't know it until it's too late. Found in the rainforests of Papua New Guinea, the hooded Pitohui stands around 9 inches tall, weighs roughly 2.5 ounces, and carries deep chestnut orange body feathers over jet black head, wings, and tail. Beautiful, approachable looking, and laced throughout every feather and patch of skin with batrachotoxin, the same compound found in poison dart frogs, one of the most potent naturally occurring neurotoxins on Earth. Skin contact causes immediate burning and numbness. Ingestion in sufficient quantity causes paralysis and cardiac arrest. A single pitohui carries enough batrachotoxin to kill several mice within minutes. Western science only confirmed this in 1992, when researcher Jack Dumbacker handled one during fieldwork and noticed his hands going completely numb. He had just discovered the world's first confirmed venomous bird by accidentally poisoning himself. Local Papuan communities had known for centuries. They called it the rubbish bird because it was the one bird nobody ever tried to eat twice. Can you imagine discovering a venomous bird by accidentally poisoning yourself in the field? Have you ever held something beautiful that could genuinely hurt you? Tag someone who thinks small birds are harmless. Position 9. Bearded vulture. The mountain ghost that eats bones and dyes its own feathers with iron-rich mud to look more dangerous. The bearded vulture doesn't eat flesh. Other vultures handle that. By the time the bearded vulture arrives at a carcass, everything soft is already gone, and what remains are the bones that every other scavenger left behind. The bearded vulture eats those bones. All of them. Found across the mountains of southern Europe, the Caucasus, Africa, and the Himalayas, this vulture stands around 3.5 feet tall, weighs between 10 and 17 pounds, and carries a wingspan reaching over 9 feet. It drops large bones from heights of up to 260 feet onto rock surfaces below, shattering them, then descends to consume the fragments and extract the marrow. It has been doing this for millions of years. And here's where it gets genuinely extraordinary. The bearded vulture deliberately bathes in iron-rich mud and rubs it into its naturally white breast feathers, staining them a deep, rusty orange. Researchers believe this is intentional self-decoration to signal dominance and health to other individuals. A bird that deliberately changes its own appearance to look more intimidating. In 2021, a bearded vulture in the Swiss Alps was filmed dropping a tortoise from over 150 feet to crack its shell, the first documented tortoise predation by this species in modern scientific records. Position 8. Great horned owl. The night predator with a grip stronger than most human hands that hunts animals larger than itself without hesitation. The great horned owl grips its prey with a force of over 300 pounds per square inch. That's stronger than the bite force of a German shepherd, applied not through jaws, but through talons the size of a grown man's hand, closing at a speed the human eye cannot track. Found across North and South America from Alaska to Patagonia, the great horned owl is the most widely distributed true owl in the Western Hemisphere. It stands around 22 inches tall, weighs between 2.5 and 5.5 pounds, and hunts everything from mice to rabbits to other raptors, including hawks, falcons, and smaller owls that it actively preys upon. It is the primary natural predator of the osprey, the red-tailed hawk, and the peregrine falcon, birds that most other animals would avoid entirely. And it does all of this in complete silence, thanks to specialized feather structures that eliminate virtually all sound during flight. What most people don't realize is that the great horned owl has known natural predators as an adult. Nothing hunts it. It sits at the absolute top of the nocturnal food chain across an entire hemisphere. In 2022, a great horned owl in Oregon was documented successfully hunting and killing a young bald eagle, a bird twice its own weight, in a confrontation captured on trail camera. Position 7. California condor. The 9.5-foot wingspan survivor that came back from 27 individuals to soar again over the Grand Canyon. In 1987, the last wild California condor was captured and placed into emergency captive breeding. At that exact moment, the total global population of the largest land bird in North America stood at 27 individuals. 27. The California condor has a wingspan of up to 9.5 feet. Nearly 3 feet wider than a bald eagle. It weighs up to 26 pounds, soars on thermal updrafts at over 55 miles per hour, and can travel over 150 miles in a single day without a single wing beat. Sacred to the Chumash, Yurok, and Wiyot peoples for thousands of years, a symbol of power, renewal, and the connection between earth and sky. Lead poisoning from hunting ammunition in animal carcasses, power line collisions, and habitat destruction had driven it to the absolute edge of extinction within living memory. Then something extraordinary happened. Through one of the most intensive conservation efforts in American wildlife history, the population climbed year by year. Slowly, painfully, against every odds. Today, over 500 California condors exist. Wild birds soar again over the Grand Canyon, the Big Sur coastline, and the cliffs of Baja California. God gave humanity a second chance with this one. And this time, people took it seriously. Position 6. Bald eagle. The American national symbol that was nearly poisoned into extinction before the entire country decided to save it. In 1963, the United States conducted a nationwide bald eagle survey. The results were devastating. Fewer than 417 nesting pairs remained in the entire continental United States. The national symbol of America was functionally disappearing. The primary cause was DDT, a pesticide that accumulated through the food chain and caused bald eagle eggshells to become so thin they shattered under the weight of the nesting parent. The recovery that followed is one of the greatest conservation achievements in American history. DDT was banned in 1972. The Bald Eagle Restoration Act provided federal protection. Breeding programs, habitat conservation, and public awareness campaigns created a nationwide effort unlike anything attempted for a single species before. Today, over 10,000 nesting pairs exist across the continental United States. Standing nearly 3 feet tall, with a wingspan reaching 7.5 feet and weighing up to 14 pounds, the bald eagle has always been extraordinary. That white head and tail against a dark brown body. Those piercing yellow eyes scanning water surfaces from 300 feet above for fish moving just below the surface. In 2020, a bald eagle nest in Florida was measured at 10 feet wide and 20 feet deep, weighing over 2 tons after decades of additions. The largest bird nest ever recorded in North American history. Isn't it something that America nearly lost its own national symbol to a pesticide? Can you think of a more powerful conservation comeback story? Comment if the bald eagle's recovery story is one of the best things you've heard today. Position 5. Golden eagle, the most widely distributed eagle on Earth that has been documented hunting wolves, deer, and bears. The golden eagle is the apex aerial predator of the Northern Hemisphere, and its hunting record reads like something out of a nature documentary that nobody would believe was real. Found across North America, Europe, Asia, and Northern Africa. The most widely distributed eagle species on Earth. The golden eagle stands around 30 inches tall, weighs between 6 and 15 pounds, and carries a wingspan reaching over 7.5 feet. It dives at speeds exceeding 150 miles per hour during a stoop, making it one of the fastest animals alive in controlled descent. Its talons exert over 400 pounds of pressure per square inch, enough to puncture the skull of an adult deer in a single strike. And it has been documented doing exactly that, hunting roe deer, foxes, and in multiple documented cases from Kazakhstan, wolves. Kazakhstani eagle hunters, the Burkutchi, have used trained golden eagles to hunt wolves for over 4,000 years. A practice so extraordinary it was added to UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list in 2016. In 2022, wildlife cameras in Scotland captured a golden eagle hunting and killing an adult red fox in under 4 seconds from initial dive to successful strike. 4 seconds, from a height of 300 feet, at 150 miles per hour. Can you imagine diving at 150 miles per hour and hitting your target with precision? Isn't the golden eagle the most purely engineered predator in the sky? Just wait until you see the last 3, because we're finishing with the most dangerous birds alive. Position 4. African crowned eagle, the African sky predator that hunts monkeys, baboons, and small antelopes, and has attacked human children. Wildlife researchers studying the African crowned eagle do not approach active nest sites alone. They work in pairs, keep their distance, and watch the sky constantly. Because this eagle attacks anything it perceives as a threat to its nest, including humans, including adult humans, without hesitation. Found across sub-Saharan Africa in dense forest and woodland habitat. The African crowned eagle stands around 32 inches tall, weighs between 7 and 10 pounds, and carries a spectacular crest of black and white feathers that fans dramatically when the bird is agitated, which around nest sites is almost constantly. Its talons are so powerful that researchers use them as the primary metric for danger assessment, generating gripping forces comparable to a Rottweiler's bite. It routinely hunts vervet monkeys, baboons, and small antelopes weighing over 40 pounds. It has been documented carrying prey items heavier than itself for distances exceeding a mile. Now get ready for this. Paleoanthropologists studying the Taung child, a famous 2-million-year-old early human fossil discovered in South Africa in 1924, concluded in 2015 that the child was likely killed and partially consumed by a large eagle of similar type to the African crowned eagle. This bird's ancestors may have hunted our ancestors. Can you believe an eagle was potentially preying on early humans 2 million years ago? Would you walk near an active nest site knowing what this bird is capable of? Tag someone who thought African eagles were just smaller versions of the bald eagle. Position 3. Ostrich, the flightless giant that runs faster than a racehorse and kicks hard enough to disembowel a lion. The ostrich cannot fly, but if you're standing in front of one when it decides you're a threat, the ability to fly is going to be the least of your concerns. The ostrich is the largest bird on Earth, standing up to 9 feet tall and weighing up to 340 pounds. It runs at sustained speeds of 35 miles per hour and has been clocked at peak bursts of 43 miles per hour, faster than a thoroughbred racehorse at full gallop, sustained over distances of up to 30 minutes. Its legs generate a kick force of over 2,000 pounds per square inch, delivered by a foot equipped with a 4-inch claw on the inner toe, specifically designed to disembowel predators. Lions avoid direct confrontation with adult ostriches. Hyenas give them space. Even crocodiles approaching nesting females have been documented retreating after initial contact. In 2013, a male ostrich at a farm in South Africa killed a farm worker with a single kick, the blow causing fatal internal injuries before any medical response was possible. What blows everyone's mind is that the ostrich egg, the largest egg of any living bird, requires over 40 minutes of continuous boiling to hard cook. The shell is thick enough to support the weight of an adult human standing on it without cracking. Can you imagine outrunning something that weighs 340 pounds? Isn't it wild that a bird that can't fly is still one of the most dangerous animals in Africa? Share this with someone who thinks birds without wings are less dangerous. Position 2. Cassowary, the most dangerous bird alive that can disembowel an adult human with a single kick and has no natural predators in its entire range. The Guinness World Records has officially listed the cassowary as the most dangerous bird on Earth. Not most dangerous raptor. Not most dangerous large bird. Most dangerous bird. Period. Found in the rainforests of northeastern Australia and New Guinea, the cassowary stands up to 6 feet tall, weighs up to 130 pounds, and is equipped with a 4-inch dagger-like inner claw on each foot, a weapon so effective it can disembowel an adult human with a single forward kick. It can run at 30 miles per hour through dense rainforest. It can jump up to 5 feet vertically from a standing position. It can swim across rivers. And it has no natural predators anywhere in its range. Nothing hunts an adult cassowary. Nothing tries. Between 1900 and 2021, 150 confirmed attacks on humans were documented in Australia and New Guinea, with at least 2 confirmed human fatalities. The most recent fatal attack occurred in 2019 in Florida, when a captive cassowary killed its owner. Now get ready for this. Fossil evidence confirms that a relative of the cassowary, Dromornis sturtoni, stood over 10 feet tall and weighed over 1,000 pounds. It walked Australia over 8 million years ago. The modern cassowary is the toned-down version. Can you imagine something this dangerous having no natural predators at all? Would you dare enter a rainforest knowing this was in there? Just wait until you see number 1, because even the cassowary gives it space. Position 1. Harpy eagle, the sky predator with talons bigger than a grizzly bear's claws that rules the Amazon with zero competition. The harpy eagle's rear talons measure up to 4 inches in length, longer than the claws of a grizzly bear. They close at a speed the human eye cannot follow, generating a gripping force exceeding 500 pounds per square inch, enough to crush the spine of a monkey in a fraction of a second. Found in the lowland tropical rainforests of Central and South America, from Mexico to Bolivia and Brazil. The harpy eagle is the largest and most powerful eagle in the Western Hemisphere. It stands up to 3.5 feet tall, weighs between 9 and 20 pounds, and carries a wingspan reaching over 7 feet. It hunts sloths, monkeys, iguanas, and small deer, prey items weighing up to 30 pounds, snatching them from tree canopy at full flight speed without slowing down. Its facial disc, that distinctive flat ring of feathers around the face, functions like a satellite dish, channeling sound directly to its ears with a precision that allows it to detect prey movement through dense forest canopy from over a mile away. In the rainforests of Panama, Brazil, and Venezuela, local communities have called it the flying wolf for generations. Jaguars give it space. No other predator directly competes with it for territory. God engineered the harpy eagle as the definitive airborne apex predator, and then placed it in the densest, most complex ecosystem on Earth, where it dominates completely. In 2021, a harpy eagle nest in the Brazilian Amazon was monitored continuously for 18 months. Researchers documenting over 40 successful hunts, including prey items over half the eagle's own body weight. Can you believe an eagle carries talons bigger than a grizzly bear's claws? Isn't the harpy eagle the most absolute proof that God built something in the sky that nothing else dares to challenge? This is hands down the most lethal bird God ever created, and there was never any other choice for number one. So guys, which of these 15 birds made you most grateful you're not living in their territory? From a surprisingly aggressive herring gull to the incomparable harpy eagle ruling the Amazon sky, every single one of these birds is proof that God packed extraordinary power, intelligence, and danger into creatures most people never think twice about. Whether it's the magpie holding funerals, the cassowary with no natural predators, or the golden eagle hunting wolves, the natural world never runs out of ways to completely rewrite what we thought we knew. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss what we bring you next. Comment below which bird surprised you the most. Your feedback shapes everything we create here. And if you haven't watched our last video yet, 15 animals so rare that few have ever managed to capture them, go check it out right now. The link is in the description and on screen. You will not regret it. The animal kingdom never stops amazing us. Until next time, guys, and thanks so much for watching.